Yo, what's up, everybody? So, this is going to be an interesting video because after buying a certain game that I didn't buy during its release, it made me change my opinion on certain things of Pokemon, especially retrospectively. This is probably the greatest Pokemon game in the mainline series ever played. So, last week, I ended up going to a collector store and I noticed that there were a bunch of Pokemon games that haven't been really seen from the public for quite a bit. One of the games that I ended up getting was a copy of Black 2. Now, obviously, it's not in the best condition because you can see the overall, you know, the overall quality isn't that great. Now, if you guys have seen the actual prices of games like these, they're going to run your pockets quite a bit. But I ended up getting a new copy or used because somebody had an old save file on it. And I decided, you know what? Let's just start playing a game that I didn't play when it came out. So, if you want a little bit of some context here, I'll put this down. Essentially, I did end up buying a copy of Pokemon White back in the day. And when I first played that game, it felt like it wasn't a Pokemon game. It was actually very unique, you know, its own quality, graphics, and the way it ran and the story. It was just phenomenal overall. I didn't get to play in Black 2 because a couple weeks prior to the release in the US, this game was kind of in a transitional phase for me. I graduated from high school a couple weeks before it got released, and overall, Yu Gi Oh! Was my number one game. Pokemon was kind of casted aside for me, and obviously, me being a dumb teenager back then, I didn't really think that Black 2 was going to add so much to me. Boy, was I wrong. And as of last week, I ended up putting about 30 hours into this game. And let me tell you, man, this is probably the greatest Pokemon game of all time. Let's jump right into it. Before we get into it, please like and subscribe. Also, as part of my shopping in this collector store, I ended up getting a old DS, not just 3DS, because I already have a 3DS, but I ended up getting a good old classic DSi because I wanted to have the experience from a actual, archaic style. So pretty cool that I got to see this once again. I used to own one of these, but I don't know what happened to it. I moved places and God forbid that copy is destroyed, but most likely it's been lost. But playing this game for the first time, it was a magical experience for me. And I'm going to over exaggerate a little bit because, man, this is probably the most fun Pokemon game I've ever played. And you can see here, I already have my 8 badges. I already put in 30 hours. I've seen 333 Pokemon, which is phenomenal. And man, what happened to Pokemon? Because I truly believe after this game, Pokemon went on a downward spiral. If you guys want to take a look at my team real quick, we're going to pull out the good old Pokemon. Now, I do have more Pokemon in my team because I was hunting a Latios that I caught recently. But this is the starter. It was an Emboar. Yeah, I technically wanted to get a good nature, and only was okay. Ended up getting and Zoroark. And then I ended up using the mystery gift from my old copy of Pokemon White and transferred a shiny level 5 um, Larvitar to this game, level 81. Pretty cool Pokemon. It actually is kind of competitively like ready to go. And then I have one of my HM slaves, the Infizet. So yeah, man, this game made me realize how really bad Pokemon has fallen. Because when you start playing X and Y for a little bit, you're going to start noticing that the quality of the games just certainly went down. This has a lot of content. And I mean, this is the most content I ever seen in a Pokemon game ever. And that speaks volumes when it comes to the games that were just released on Nintendo Switch. Can you imagine a DS game has way more content, has way more storytelling attributes, has an access to a national dex? When's the last time we've seen a true national dex in these games? Since Generation 6, technically. But we don't even have national dex anymore, and Dexit definitely killed off quite a bit of the Pokemon fans' hopes and dreams of a true, complete Pokemon game. And even the music in this game, can you listen to this for a little bit? Phenomenal soundtrack overall. This is just wonderful. And then, of course, one of the best post-game attributes, I thought the Battle Frontier was like perfection. The Pokemon World Tournament is phenomenal as well in this game. And I think by playing this game and having the memories of playing Pokemon Black and White, this has changed my opinion in regards to what is the greatest Pokemon generation of all time. I really believe that Generation 5 might be the best of all time. And I always put 3 and 4 higher in the ranks because I wasn't familiar with Pokemon Black 2 and White 2. A little shiny Gibble from the Black Tower. I completed the Black Tower, guys. So, once I finished this game, I didn't just stop at the Elite Four and Champion. I actually started playing some of the post-game areas that were unlocked once you become Champion. I had so much fun. I haven't had fun in a Pokemon game in a long time. It just goes to show, Game Freak, something's got to change with your current games because this, I truly believe, was the last time we saw actual magic in Pokemon games. Now, I will debate that Pokemon ORAS might have a little bit of magic because Gen 3 is actually goated for me. But I think these games signal the turn point, or the turning point, I should say, of the franchise in general. The magic behind these games, the graphics, the way the game looks and plays, the way the story is being told. The characters actually have a function, they're useful. Just sad to see something like this not replicated in Pokemon anymore. And this is probably the almost perfect Pokemon games I've ever played. And it's just sad to see something like that considering that we haven't had a game like that in quite a while. Now, some might argue that Generation 7 is good, and I will agree. It's good. It's not perfect. It's not almost perfect. I think it's good. And it's just sad to see something like this happening because I really had fun playing this game. I really enjoyed playing Pokemon. But this game made me change my opinion, absolutely. 100% think that Pokemon should have stayed like this. I think the transition to 3D was very crippling in regards to content and quality of the games overall. But man, where is the Pokemon games that I loved back in my childhood? My biggest regret was not playing this game when it first came out because my perspective of such games would have changed drastically. And here I am 12 years later, almost 12 years later, playing this archaic game in a very archaic system on the DSi. And man, I had such fun. I truly wish Pokemon would have stayed like this almost forever. Anyways, guys, just a little quick video. Let me know your opinions of Pokemon Black 2, White 2. I am going to try to make a competitive team for the Pokemon World Tournament, and I will try to record that kind of stuff because I think it's really cool. I think I'm having a lot more fun than usual. I might actually play arcade Pokemon games too, but let me know your opinions in the comment section down below. Please continue to like and subscribe. You guys have been phenomenal. It's your boy Franklin signing out. Peace.